Sushi calls and sweaty balls. This is Scotch Sporting.
So our deep dive topic is the Ben Simmons situation. And we won't stay on this too much because who cares? He is a dingus and who cares? So Ben Simmons is, I don't know, Mark, would you even call him a star?
Can I just say one thing? Until this happened,
you did not know who Ben Simmons was.
I had never heard of Ben Simmons.
What? Which is such a
I don't watch basketball, Mark.
No, but I've been screaming about it in our chats for like the last 6 months.
Until this happened, I don't pay, Mark, it's basketball. I don't pay attention. I don't care.
Have you heard of Joel Embiid?
Who?
Okay. Joel Embiid?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, like, if you'd heard of him, then, like, okay. So the Ben Simmons situation, he plays for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's been a little bitch for the last year, maybe 2 years, Mark, or last year for sure?
No, I would say the last 8 months, not even the year.
He basically thinks he should get paid more, and this offseason he has said, I am not reporting to training camp. I will not ever play again for the 76ers.
It's not about the money. He got his contract last year.
So what's it about?
It's about the organization not having faith in him because they publicly pretty much come out and said, we know he's not a good shooter. He might not be the guy for us going forward because of,
So are they actively trying to trade him?
They weren't. It was just something that Doc Rivers said, and then he took it as.
But I don't understand. So this guy is literally being a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like they don't want me, even though they
coach
signed
telling
me.
you what's wrong with your game. You got your money. The coach wants you to shoot better. Complains about it in public, and then you cry about it.
Nah, get the fuck off my team.
Yeah,
get the fuck off my team. Don't play. I don't want you.
So I wanted to do a deep dive on contract holdouts with you guys.
Yes. Because
I think on previous incarnations of this podcast, we've discussed contract holdouts specifically in the NFL. And I think it was with the Le'Veon Bell situation. Because in football, your career could end on a play.
Yes.
So
especially a running back.
Holdouts at the NFL make a little bit more sense.
Do they though? Because
hold on,
you get yeah.
This is not a holdout because of a money issue. It's a holdout because he wants to get traded. He already has his
It's
money.
Actually worse, Mark. I know this is worse.
But the subject we're talking about that we're going to deep dive is players holding out for more money.
Right.
There are a couple. I think there are a couple on this list who just held out because of the organization. Bo Jackson, I think.
Bo Jackson was drafted by a team he didn't want to play for at all. He didn't hold for more money. He just didn't want to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, exactly. I don't want to play for you.
That wasn't money related though.
Alexa Yashin, Pavel Bure.
Alexa Yashin wanted a new contract and more money, and he got that.
Bure wanted out of Vancouver.
No, Bure had a fractious relationship with management.
So that's. But how do you? And just playing devil's advocate with Ben Simmons, although I do think he's a little bitch, and I think he is a victim of the curse of the Kardashians. Look at any athlete, because Tristan Thompson is also on this list. Look at any athlete that have touched a Kardashian and tell me their career has improved. That could be a deep dive for next week. So, how would you guys show up to work every day for an organization that doesn't really have faith in you? Would you not want to go to somewhere else?
Probably. But they're also paying you a lot of money, and this only got to this point because it's not like he just all of a sudden couldn't shoot. He's had a history of this and has made no reliance on himself to improve himself in that aspect of the game.
So how do you feel as a fan of a player and a holdout?
Well, it depends on what the hold's about. In Ben Simmons' situation, I do not sympathize with him at all.
But you would sympathize about money?
If you're
not making fair market value, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But signed.
Tay, I was away and I just wanted to address one thing. You said, how would you feel working for a place that doesn't value you?
Yeah.
You've clearly never worked retail. So
how do you feel? I think the obvious answer then, how do you feel as a fan of the team with one of your stars as a holdout?
Again,
So you guys are entirely dependent on if this is over money or not.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I'm on the team side because what he's doing is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
In situations over money, it's always about, are you being paid fair market value? If the answer is yes, then shut up. And if the answer is no, then pay him.
So you guys, and I think we talked about this when we talked about Le'Veon. He's a very good example. And, what if Vlad decides to next year hold out?
He won't. Baseball's a little bit different because...
But let's just say, for example, because he is on a rookie contract. He is fucking incredible.
Not only is he on a rookie contract, but he has those arbitration rights for like the next 4 years. He's under control for until he's 25.
And if he were to wake up in the offseason and go, I could be making so much more money, how would you feel about that? Because he is not getting paid fair market value, but he signed a contract. Tyler?
Yeah, it's a rookie contract though. Everybody starts out like that, and I see where you're going.
I don't think he has the legal ability to even
not yet, but when he's 25, so if he decides that he wants more money, then the Blue Jays are going to offer him, which I highly doubt that that's even going to be the case, but all the power to him. If he can continue what he's doing until then, that's fine.
And you guys would support it if Vlad Guerrero woke up in the offseason and said, I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. I'm sitting this out unless you restructure my contract right now.
But you can't do that under the CBAs. I mean, the max he can make is I think $1 million. Remember, Pete Alonso is making more money off of winning home run derbies than his actual salary with the Mets.
We're talking hypotheticals here, people.
And
shut up, Mark, with your
couldn't
facts.
happen at all. Under the CBA, you can't have that happen.
How did you feel about Nylander?
I was fine with that. I thought going 7 or more was going to be too much for him. Him selling for 6.9 is fantastic for me.
But were you, when he was holding out, were you upset with William Nylander?
No, because he was trying to get what he was worth, and he got what he was worth. I just hated it took forever. That was the only issue. So,
I guess, is this something that is reserved for a certain tier of players? Is my question.
It's situations, because Le'Veon Bell was the running back of the NFL.
Yeah. But what about, and I used another baseball example because I was clearly watching baseball when I wrote this, but someone like a Diaz, who isn't a superstar, but he's probably getting paid less than what his market value is right now, are holdouts something only for the stars?
No, but most of the guys wouldn't hold out because they'll just be happy to get money.
Yeah.
They can't command that amount like the superstars can.
So there's no achieving X and demanding Y. It's you look at your skills, you look at what you're getting paid, and you go, hold on a second.
Yeah. Only superstars have that ability because they can elevate themselves above the rest of the pack.
And they also have the ability to say, they're the star of the team. Without me, you're shit. Right?
Well, and not even just that you're shit, but I sell this amount in jerseys. I sell this amount in merchandise. I bring this many butts into the seats.
Yeah. I've scored this many goals. I've scored this many points.
And Alexa Yashin definitely sticks out in my mind because that was the perfect age.
Yeah.
When we were just getting into sports, it's definitely one that sticks out. And I always remembered, so Mark, it was about money. I always remembered he was just I do not want to play for Ottawa.
No, it was all about money. That's why the Islanders gave him that 15-year contract, I believe it was.
Ridiculous.
And the Senators got freaking Chara out of that deal.
That's right.
And guess who's back with the Islanders?
That's fun.
Is Chara on the
Islanders?
Islanders?
Back.
Chara's signed with the Islanders.
Oh my God. How old is Chara? He's got to be
44.
97.
His body's probably 97.
Jesus.
Just stop. So also tied with the Islanders, my favorite in this, and not on any of these lists, was Evgeny Nabokov. So as you know, Chris, he played for your Sharks.
I recall, yep.
And another fun, do you remember, Ty? He platooned with faced Toskala.
That's Toskala, yep.
And the Maple Leafs, God bless them, chose the wrong one.
I disagree. Yep. I disagree. At the time, Toskala was the better goalie. When he played for the Sharks, he was the better of the two. And when Toskala left, I was upset. And then he sucked when he went to Toronto. So I'm like, okay, well, at least he sucks there.
So Nabokov left to play in the KHL. I assume that was during the lockout.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to play in the KHL. He played for a season and was like, I would like to come back.
Right.
So he signed a deal with the Detroit Red Wings in 2011. The Red Wings at the time being one of the top NHL teams. He signed a super minimum contract. However, as he started the season with the KHL, NHL rules had him placed on waivers. He basically re-entered the league.
Yep.
And the New York Islanders, which at the time were absolute trash and one of the worst teams, put in a claim and got him. And he went, oh no.
No, thank you.
Oh dear. No thanks. He stated that it didn't make sense to him why they claimed him. The Islanders suspended Nabokov for failing to join the team, and he sat out the rest of the season.
And then played for them the following season.
Played for them the following season because he couldn't. He had to.
Yeah.
He took a season to try and get out of it. So he was one of my favorite holdouts because they signed him, and he went, "Oh, how do you guys feel about this kind of holdout?"
I understand it because now his fucking agent should have told him that this was a possibility. And so this is on his agent, not on him. But okay. I understand him not wanting to play for the Islanders at that time. He was coming back to the NHL with the hopes of winning a Stanley Cup.
What Nabokov's agent should have done was, knowing the waiver process, go to the Red Wings and say, hey, can you make a deal with the Islanders just in case they win the claim?
Right.
Throw my 5th round pick, whatever.
Exactly. Just say we'll give you whatever it takes to not do this.
Not claim them. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now my final but question. So we're back on Ben Simmons, or a Ben Simmons type person. You are now a GM of another team. Are you going to take him? Like, who's going to trade for someone that's sitting out period?
I mean,
not just either for, I don't know if the answer is different for money or being a little bitch.
No, the team that's going to trade for him is going to be the team that believes that they can fix him.
Right.
Because the only thing wrong with him is his shooting. Everything else he is excellent at. Rebounding, passing game, defense, all-star level.
But are you not worried he's going to come to your team and someone's going to critique him on something and he'll be a little bitch for your team too?
If they keep it private, it shouldn't be an issue. But once you put it on public, like Doc Rivers did and GM, then that's an issue.
Is the answer different for someone who might be sitting out for financial reasons?
I mean,
like I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. Like, aren't you worried he's going to come to you, be even better, and will do the same thing to your team?
Depends on. I mean, it depends on the league. If it's a league with a salary cap, then maybe that might be an issue. But
he's only in his 2nd year of his 5-year contract, of a max contract. He's getting paid well.
So what about someone like a Le'Veon Bell, who sat out the entire year for Pittsburgh and then went to the Jets?
But that's the thing. In the NBA, he's already making the max money he can make. NBA has these max salary rules.
Right.
NFL doesn't have that.
Right.
As a fan, do you want someone like that on your team?
If my team is, say, the Minnesota Timberwolves, yes.
Poor Timberwolves. I guess I don't get these kind of distractions. And I mean, this is a whole other conversation about how some distractions in sports are okay and some aren't. And I wouldn't want someone who's willing to sit out on my team, regardless of whether it's for money or being a little bitch and you think the coach is being mean to you that day. It's like, what's going to stop you from coming to me and doing the same thing?
Right.